So I know a lot of people aren't going to like this video. However, it is what it is, and I'm doing it for those people that it will be helpful for. Um, there is a dog that was in the United States that has been very influential in many pedigrees. And unfortunately, on the pedigree database, it doesn't list the true pedigree of the dog. It's almost absent. And so we'll get into it. I knew the person who bred the dog, who kept the dog. It was her dream puppy. And this is her, as you see her come through. Her name is Summer. She was bred by Karen Zargas Kennels in New Jersey. And unfortunately, she was out of an entirely epileptic litter. It says on the pedigree database that her sire is Picasso 2. And her mom is Gianna, her dam, for those who need it to be correct. Anyways, it says Picasso is out of Morgana. That is new. That didn't used to be on there a year or two ago when I checked, and it's absolutely untrue. I don't think that dog deserves to be thrown under the bus for this situation because there is no relation at all. And I know that because I know Morgana. I had a puppy from her first litter, and her first litter was born after Summer was born. And Picasso. Picasso was a young dog. Morgana is not the mother, period. I don't know why somebody fucked with that pedigree, but somebody did fairly recently. And I think it was, I don't know what it was even to cover up, maybe to make it look like what I had told other people was untrue. Because I have told people about Summer. She is a dog that ended up going to rival kennels. And she produced a lot of beautiful dogs. She was a stunning dog, absolutely, in my opinion. Almost as perfect could be for a female. I can see why people bred her. However, she was from an epileptic litter. Pretty much they were all died, and the breeder just gave up all her dogs in her kennel and got out of the business. But her parents both were sired by a dog named Nico Degliolmi, Calabrese Nikos. He went by numerous names that was imported to the United States. And the dam of, let me just think, Gianna was Panther also, which you can see on the pedigree database. But anyways, this is Nico. Stunning dog. He was imported from Carini in Italy, who was at one time one of the most influential breeders there, period. This dog was gorgeous. He was one of the reasons I got into the Corso breed, as I absolutely loved him. He was my dream dog in every way. However, he sired a couple litters through tons of epilepsy, and everybody knew it, everybody knows it, and for some reason Summer's pedigree is wiped clean of showing that. He was born in 96, and trying to stay on track. I'm doing this video differently than how I normally do, and there's people walking around out front, and I gotta watch the dog. So anyways, we get to Nico. He's out of Rubens, and his dam is Queen. That is absolutely true. Iggy, quiet. If we get deep into this pedigree, it is so inbred. Reuben's parents are brother and sister, and he was bred to Queen, who is like a niece, as Argos is at the back, is the same as his sire. And the inbreeding even goes deeper than that. Not that there's anything wrong with inbreeding, because this is the type of pedigree that is ideal on a good dog. However, like, this pedigree is almost perfect because the breeder knew exactly what he was doing when it came to breeding, when on paper. But unfortunately, the dog was a disaster for what he produced neurologically. And there's so many people in the States right now, that have that line with Summer in it because they wanted these big, gorgeous, heavy-boned dogs that work like machines. They're absolutely every single thing a Corso should be, except they're having all these problems with epilepsy, and a lot of them have no idea what dog to pin it on. They pinned it on Mojo, which there's a possibility because Mojo bred to Summer was a disaster, because Mojo also goes back to these same dogs, Otello, which is in the pedigree like a million times. Like the dog is, these dogs have almost no gene pool, period. So many people think, oh, well, they're so far back, it doesn't matter. They had very little to offer in their DNA to each generation, especially when they were bred this tight. And then you take this line and you cross this line with the Derium line, which is exactly the same on paper. Now, I know a lot of these pedigrees are false, but exactly the same on paper. And everybody knew 20 years ago, you cross Rubens with Derium stuff, you were in shit. You were guaranteed for epilepsy. But right now, there's so many people in the States that have no idea about Summer because she's been like the most perfectly kept secret it appears to be. I've never heard anybody talk about her, but I've heard tons of people talk about the pedigree and show me the pedigree and say, where is the problem here? Because the epilepsy is devastating people's breeding programs.